the 35th verse. And it says, on the same day, when evening had come, he said to them, let us cross over to the other side. Now when they had left the multitude, they took him along in the boat as he was. And other little boats were also with him. And a great windstorm arose on the waves, beat into the boat, so that it was already filling. But he was in the stern, asleep on a pillow. And they awoke him and said, Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing? Then he arose, rebuked the wind, and said to the sea, Peace, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. But he said to them, Why are you so fearful? How is it that you have no faith? And they feared exceedingly and said one to another, Who can this be, that even the wind and the sea obey him?
Hey, Jesus!
There is none like you.
Yeah.
We're grateful for what God is doing. Before you take your seats, I would have you to say this to your neighbor. The Lord is going to make a way somehow.
The Lord is going to make a way somehow.
Please have your seats in the presence of our Lord. I'm so excited that God allowed us to find a place in his word that we can assimilate and know that there's others that go through storms. The unique quality of a storm is that a storm will come up on you when you wasn't planning for a storm. See, we are blessed to have many computers in our pockets that will give us the forecast of a storm that might be on the horizon. But if you like me, you don't look at what the weather says in the morning. You open up your door and see what the clouds look like. Now, I'm not asking you to subscribe to the way I do things, because what can happen is because I looked out and it didn't look like rain was going to come. I sometimes get caught in the middle of a storm. Storms have a way of sneaking up on you when you are prepared in your mind that you have gone through all that you're going to go through. That possibly you have lived a life long enough and you've seen the worst of the worst. You have felt the worst you've ever going to feel. There's no possible way that I can feel worse than I have felt in this last season of my life. No way that a storm can catch me off guard in this area of life. But if the truth be told, it's not really a storm if you were prepared for it. A storm is something that has a design to blow you in a particular direction. A storm can also blow things out of your life that don't need to be there. A storm don't necessarily have to have rain, but I can guarantee you that a storm will have some wind. I remember growing up that there was these big old ugly trees that was leaning and hanging all over the street. And when we tried to throw the football, that the footballs always got caught in the thick of the trees that were hanging over the road. And I would just think to myself as a young person, if somebody on this street had enough money to trim these trees, we would be able to play freely inside this street. I know we weren't supposed to be playing in the street, but that was the only place we had to throw the football. And one summer, I don't know if the storms changed because I got older or I just got used to storms, but it seemed like back in the 80s, the storms was just that much stronger. That when a storm came through in summer June of 1988, that something about that old tree, the roots just couldn't hold up against what the storm winds were bringing against that tree. I'm going someplace that we thought this was the strongest tree in the neighborhood. That this tree had the strongest roots, that the concrete of the sidewalk was buckling because the roots up under that sidewalk were so strong. But there's something about that wind that came through in 1988 that the strongest symbol on our street came tumbling down like a deck of cards. Can I bring bring it home that some of us are in the middle of a storm because we're watching one of the strongest people in our lives go through something that we've never thought they would have to go through. That they seem like they always have their minds stayed on Jesus. That it seems like they're kind to people, that they love people, but this storm, baby, just has my loved one going through something that I thought they would never ever have to go through. Do I have a witness in here that where the husbands at? Wind, come on my street, wind. Wind, if you gotta blow me around the house. But wind, when you touch Mari. Wind, I don't mind if you blow me off of my job, but when you touch the loved one that I can't write a check for, when you touch the loved one that I can't go up to the school and talk to the principal the way I want to talk to the principal.
All right.
But that the storms allow us to understand, if you're write this, storms show us how weak we are. Somebody here got offended when the preacher called you weak. Let me change it. Storms show you how dependent you are. Go ahead, you dang like that one, Ruben. Let's go farther. Storms come to show you how dependent you should be. Sometimes God allows a storm to show you ain't as strong as you thought you were. You can't just be taking everybody's phone number thinking you're going to be all right. But what I'm trying to help you understand is that storms will come to show you that you ain't conquered that demon just yet. Don't just say your prayers when you got hell going on. Say your prayers to prep you for the storm. Well, in the midst of this story, we find Jesus in the midst of the multitude. I love when the Bible talks about the multitude because Jesus was performing miracles. And if I have any scholars in the room that you know whenever people giving out stuff, there's going to be a multitude of people. Jesus said, let us go to the other side. So while we are preparing to go to the other side, I need to disperse the multitudes. Because everybody in this crowd ain't here for me. Some people in this crowd for what's in my hands. What I'm trying to find out is if this 12 that's riding with me, that says they're going to die with me, seeing if they are really a part of the multitude or are they a part of me.
Come on.
Let us go to the other side. I just want to get a pen. Don't want to go to the end of my sermon just yet. But if God said, let us go to the other side, Sister Zan, you going to make it. Sister Randolph, I'm going to say that in about 17 minutes, and we're going to get a totally different response. That when God tells us to go somewhere, see, we so dependent and so much knowing that God is going to care for us, we think it ain't going to be nothing but smooth sailing. Since God said it, that must mean it's going to be easy. If God says, I'm going to be on the boat with you, that must mean ain't no waves going to come against God. But where the Bible is clear, the Bible says, and the same day, when evening was come, he saith to them, let us pass over to the other side. And when they had sent away the multitude, they took him, Jesus, even into the ship. And there were also with him other little ships. Somebody write that down. Don't forget about that verse. There's always little ships around where you're trying to go. Now, if you're a married woman trying your best to live a married life, your best life, it's all kind of little single ships around you. A bunch of little single ships that want to tell you about how you should be living as a married woman. Want to tell you how he's supposed to do when he come home. Let me tell you something, Missy Pooh, that until you get you a husband like mine, you ain't got nothing to say to me. And don't tell me that your common law situation amounts to what God has blessed over here. Because God has put his hands on this, we gonna go through stuff that y'all ain't gonna go through. Can I talk to the grown-up folks? If you living outside of his will, the adversary ain't gotta come against against you. If I'm trying to do it God's way, we're going to fight all the time. We're going to fight about stockings. We're going to fight about flour. We're going to fight if you clean the grill properly. We're going to fight about how we discipline the kids. Why? Because we're trying to work this thing out together, and the devil don't want us to be together. But if you're doing your own thing, doing it your own way, I say, they on my team. I ain't got to let them fight about that team. Bible is clear that it's going to be little bitty boats around you because they know you got Jesus on your side. I'm trying to stay on this outline, but when people know you got Jesus on your life, they walk up on you on the job and they say stuff like this, would you pray for me? I have absolutely no problem praying for you, but before we get into your list of requests, can we pray this prayer? Father, I'm a sinner. I need you to save my sin-sick soul. Baby, after you pray that prayer, you got the same power I got. So we both can call on the name of the Lord. Not going to be deterred by all these little ships trying to steal my Jesus. Just because I got Jesus on board, you ain't going to use me up. See, we got to grow up, church. We be so excited that people want us to pray for them. We put on our Christian cape and we go to work. Who needs my anointing in this hellish job? Stop praying for people's situations and start praying for their salvation. Storms come when you ain't prepared for them. The Bible says that he said, go to the other side when it was yet evening, Deacon Scott. But I ain't been on a boat in a long time, but it seems like the sun go down faster when you're on the water. While they was on land, it was evening. He said, let us go to the other side. While they were on the water, the storm came. And the storm came when it was nighttime. Can I paint a picture for you? That it's hard to go down south and they ain't got street lights like they got down here in Detroit. Because the dark is the same dark as up here, but it just seems like it's a little darker down there. And if you've been on the water and somebody turned the lights off trying to be funny, it ain't no kind of light out there on the water. And it's something that happens inside how God wired us. Watch this. If you don't know what's going on, the first thing we do in our car when we smell something or hear something, we turn down the radio. You smell that? Turn the radio down. Let me tell you how smart God wired us. We have 5 senses that alert us when something is going on. Just because we can't see what's going on with one of the senses, another sense is going to kick in. It's pitch black dark and a storm has creeped in and I can't see. Why do all the storms come in the middle of the night? How come the phone call comes at 12:01 when the baby was supposed to be home at 9:30? Why in the world is you calling at 12:30 saying you're going to be late? You might as well don't call. You should be breaking in the house around this time because now you got to sleep on the porch. They used to say stuff like this, that ain't nothing open after midnight, but it seems like when your family members are in distress, they can't call you when you're up and you got energy. They call you when things are going on in their life after they done had a horrific situation and you comfortable in the bed. Somebody else's storm just became your storm. Am I talking to anybody in here? Y'all got quiet on me. Storm. Some of us are reliving storms that ain't happened recently. Your raincoat ain't wet, but the storm is still affecting your sleep. Your situation ain't been for a couple of years, but that situation is still chasing you around. You're trying to get a sound night of sleep. Right in the middle of your sleep, snoring good, you raise up, jump to your feet, feel like you're having a heart attack. Let me get a witness in here that your storm is after your peace. Your storm is after your joy. Your storm is trying to attack your rest. Why you think you're so tired? Because the storm has attacked your rest. And they come suddenly. But here's the part that I like. Look at the genius of God. Why did God show us some trained fishermen afraid of a storm?
All right now. Yeah. Ain't that something?
A trained fisherman shouldn't be afraid of no storm. This is how I make my money. I can't dock the boat because it's raining. I gotta learn how to do what I'm good at in the middle of a storm. Did I just say something? That if God called me to do it, what I look like retreating because a storm has arisen. If God says I'm going to the other side, I'm just gonna have to hold on for this bumpy ride. I don't think somebody heard what God's saying in here. You are not going to be prone of not having a storm in your life, but here's my suggestion. Even when you're going through your storm, I just need you to hold on tight. Don't let go just because you're afraid. Even though you're afraid, that should not deter your faith. If God said it, I'm going through it. And if I gotta go through it, I'm going through it with Jesus. And if I'm familiar of who on the boat with me, y'all help me out real fast, because I think I'm about to lose it in the middle of this sermon. Y'all talk back to me. The Bible is clear that we are going to the other side. There's something different about me going through a storm, and I know Jesus is on board.
Oh yeah.
Don't nobody want to go through a storm, but something changes when you have the King of Kings on board. Something happens in my spirit when the Holy Ghost reminds me, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. What you mean by that text? Look around and see who's on the boat with you. When you wake up in a panic, look to the Word of God to remind you that Jesus is your captain. When you don't know what to do, read that ugly painting on your bathroom wall with all the scriptures on it. Y'all know the one. Read the Word of God when your mind will not be settled, when your blood pressure is not where it's supposed to be, when your body is wrecking with pain. Why won't you read the Word of God in the middle of your storm? The first thing we reach for when we're going through a storm is we want to post it. I ain't gonna tell God about my storm. I'm gonna tell all my fake friends on Facebook. I ain't from Alabama, but my father is. When I get anointed, I get country. When you going through something, it seems like you rather tell everybody except tell the one who can control the storm. I need to make this clear today that all of us fall under different types of storms. Can I give you a list of the types of storms that some of us are going through right now? Somebody in the middle of a storm where they have fake friends and real enemies.
All right now.
That ain't your number yet? Some of us going through private storms. A private storm is the storm between your ears that only you and God know about. A private storm will have you putting on the wrong mask before you come to church. You put your attitude face mask on. Everybody say, you all right? Why everybody keep asking me, am I all right? Well, it's written all over your face. You don't have to say a word. Public storm is the one that everybody can see you going through. Now, I'm just telling you that God knows how to shape us into the image of God. So all of us that's dealing with pride in the room, God will give you a public storm that he'll show you how to be faithful in spite of people seeing you going through. Because some people don't like to let nobody know they only got $6. But I'm just here to tell you, you ain't gonna be blessed if don't nobody know what you going through. Sometimes you gotta tell your family, I wish I had 2 pieces of bread, but that wish sandwich last night was slapping. Sister Lynn, some people are going through potential storms. A potential storm hasn't exactly happened yet, but the adversary has learned how to push your anxiety buttons. And when the adversary learns which anxiety buttons to push, you will be worried about stuff that ain't even happened yet. You decided they look like somebody I don't like, so I know they got a messed up attitude. The Bible says, be anxious for nothing. Some of us are in a position, someone say location, that God has told you I'm on board, but you believe the adversary over what God has said. I want you to hear this and hear it in your spirit, that the presence of a storm does not mean the absence of God. See, because old theology will tell you that you got to be doing something wrong because you're going through something. The disciples are walking with Jesus and saw a man who was blind from birth. His disciples asked the question, which one has sinned? Was it his mother or his father? The Bible says, Jesus says, neither. He was born in a storm so God can be glorified. So bump your neighbor. Say, get up off a pity row that your storm might just be so God can show you his glory. Can I testify? It seems like the closer I get to the will of God for my life, that the storms are getting more intense. Oh, y'all got quiet. I was just talking about me. Just say amen on my part. I start over. The closer I get to the will of God for my life, it seems like the storms are getting more intense. It seems like you don't just hit my money with one bill. It seems like all the bills behind at the same time. You don't just get one shut-off notice. I'm telling too much. It seems like all the shut-off notices that they called each other and said, yeah, let's hit them today and break them all the way down to the white meat. It don't seem like just 1 or 2 members step off and say, I can't stand you, old big head preacher. They leave in bunches. I'm just trying to be transparent with you. It ain't when 1 or 2 people stop supporting the ministry. It seems like 4 or 5 people stop giving at the same time. I'm just telling you about Pastor Storm.
All right now.
See, the closer you get to what you've been waiting for, Brother Bosh, it seems like the things that you go through are intensified. Can I pretend like I know what it's like to watch somebody have a baby 2 times? It seems like when you first tell people around 3 months, if you got wisdom, that you with child, that everybody excited for what's going on in your life. The first time you get a kick, you excited. You want everybody to touch the bump. Oh, y'all ain't gonna talk back to me in here. Now, when it seems like your hair starts growing because the baby in there, you're all excited about all the stuff that's going on because of what's happening on the inside of you. But something happens right around 7 months. It seems like you can't stay out the bathroom. It seems like everything you eat But you don't want your baby to...
All right now.
Now I done fell into the 9th month. After I done suffered for 2 months, ready for this thing, this monster, to get out of me. I just want my life back. I was excited about this thing 3 months ago, but now this thing haps me up at night. I can't even sleep on my favorite side no more. I can't even sit on the toilet too long. And it just seems like this thing inside of me is taking over my life.
All right now.
If you know like I know, the doctor messed around and gave you a due date. And you done circled that thing in lipstick on your calendar. And you done got excited about going to the other side. I'm still in the text. But I'm finally getting where God told me I'm going to go. I'm so excited I'm going to finally see this thing face to face. I'm going to finally shake him and say, you ain't let me get no kind of sleep when you was in there. I see Mari brought me a picture of Israel. Israel had her legs crossed inside the womb. Israel been running things for a long time. But I'm just trying to help somebody today. But the closer you get to seeing what you've been waiting for, it seems like the pain intensifies. I was holding that pretty lady's hand in the back there, and the doctor said, breathe. Brother, I was breathing faster than she was. I was keeping pace with her. And then in that pretty small voice, as I rubbed her back, she said, would you please get your hands off of me? And I was trying my best to console somebody in the middle of their storm. Y'all better hear God today. You can't help nobody that's going through something unless you've been through the exact same thing. I was just trying to be a faithful husband, breathing as hard as I could, about to pass out up there. Push, baby. Push, baby. She said, would you please shut up?
All right then.
She was in all kind of pain. Y'all with me? She was in all kind of pain, crying, saying stuff I would not repeat it here. She walked in saying, I'm a trooper. I will not take no medicine in my body. I'm going to have this baby natural. Just give me the stirrups. My baby was there for 20 minutes. She said, epidural!
Give me some.
I walked in this room thinking I had it all together.
Oh yeah.
But found out I needed some help. I need some help to get this blessing out. I need some help to get what God has put inside of me out into the world. God has trusted my body to do something that's going to bring somebody else life. So I got to push in spite of my pain. I got to push in spite of my fear. I got to push in spite of how I feel right now. And then the baby comes forth. All the pain goes away. I see my promise. I see my baby. I see that God said, we gonna get to the other side. I made it. I said all that to say that it's rough right now in the middle of your storm. But the Lord is gonna make a way somehow. If you need some help, ask for some help. If you got support, receive your support. If you got somebody to rub your shoulders, let them rub your shoulders. But hold on to God's unchanging hand. He said, I'm almost out your way. He says, I want y'all to understand something. That the Bible is clear. That the waves was 20-foot waves.
All right. All right.
I don't know how many people been in a canoe and saw 20-foot waves. Some of us don't even like when the cruise liner rock too hard. Hold on. This thing like it's going down like the Titanic. These brothers was trained fishermen, stay with me, that they were equipped for the sea. But the things that we think we've mastered is where you're going to have the most of your storms. Oh, boring man, I know his routine. I know who he is, what he does. Don't you be surprised by what you think you know. You might be in the middle of a storm in your marriage. Stay with me. Don't break out. Don't break out. Stay here. You might think that your children are who you think they are. Somebody here might think your kid don't cuss. Oh, excuse me. Your grandkids don't cuss. I just want to rewind your minds. For some of us 30 years ago, for some of us 50 years ago, what was the first thing you did when you had a chance to be out of your parents' sight? Oh, just so miraculously, because you take them to church like your mama took you to church, they angels. Your storm might come in your perfect kids. Let me finish this. They was afraid. This is the part I love. They was afraid. And the Bible says that they went and got Jesus.
They do.
Have you ever been so afraid in a situation that you had to go and find Jesus? Stay with me here. That's not a trick question. You might be on your job and your supervisor and lost their ever-loving mind. You said, can I take my break right now? I need to go to my car and find Jesus. I need to go and talk to the Lord because the words that's about to come out of my mouth in the next 15 minutes, I need to go and tell somebody who can talk to me off this ledge. Because if you keep talking to me like you crazy, I'ma set it off. They was afraid. They was afraid. Watch the language. Carest not that we about to die? A storm will increase your doubt. Look what can happen. A storm can make you forget that Jesus is on your side. A storm can make you forget what you just saw Jesus do last week. Somebody mortgage just got paid. Jesus did it. Not cable knocking at the door and you done lost your mind. You forgot what he did last season. You forgot how he healed you last year. You forgot how he brought you back from the dead. You forgot how he healed you last time. Jesus is here to tell you, I'm not sleeping on your storm. I'm just trying to show you how much faith you have. Lord, have mercy. I serve a God who never sleeps nor slumbers. Even in the human body, Jesus got tired in his body, but I'm convinced that he was fully aware. Why was he aware? Because he told them to go. And if Jesus tells you to go anywhere, he knows all the obstacles in your way. But watch the language. Let's go to the other side. He didn't say let's go to the first obstacle. Let's go to the first wave. Let's go to the first hinder or the first hurdle. Let's go to the other side. We try to confine God in our time. I want us to move past our time and hear God's time. That God says this, that I'm going to make you the head and not the tail. Some of us look in the bank account as soon as he say it. The word mic is turned off or somebody looking at their storm. Get your eyes off your storm and look at Jesus. Care us not that we perish. Jesus woke up. He got to sleep all his eyes. I don't know if it's anybody here like me, but if he was asleep less than an hour, he woke up cranked out. Like any other family members in here, I don't take naps because you wake me up less than 45 minutes, I'm terrible. My wife knows, let him sleep for an hour and a half. House on fire, let him sleep. Have bad attitude. Care us not that we perish. Can you see Jesus wiping the sleep out of his eyes? Can you see Jesus saying, what? What you say? What's going on? Hold on, I can't hear you. Where? Be still. What you say?
Care is not as we perish.
I can't hear who I love over this little storm that's causing noise in my life.
All right now.
I need to stop talking to my storm about everything that's going on. I need to start talking to my storm about who's on board. I got Jesus in the bottom of this ship. And if this ship goes down, I'm not going down by myself. I'm going down with Jesus. And if I go down with Jesus, I'm in a good place anyway. He says this, I can stop all your storms. But look at this. Jesus was more concerned with the bigger storm on board. He said, listen here, I got plans for you. I got work for you and your brothers. But this doubt and this fear thing you keep rolling with, these gonna have to get under control. Because you ain't gonna be able to do what I've called you to do if you let your doubt master your mind.
That's right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Watch this. He says, where is your faith? He didn't ask, how come you don't have faith? We together? Y'all with me? The implication is you a believer. But sometimes we suffer from misplaced faith. We put faith in God when we're looking for something to put in our pockets. Well, how come we don't have the same faith when we're running around the house afraid of things each and every day? How come we don't believe God like we believe God on Sunday? I wish we could bottle up our faith from Sunday and drink a little bit on Tuesday, drink a little bit on Wednesday. But I'm going to tell you how to bottle up your faith. I need you to get up early in the morning and crack open your word of God. And I need you to read a song to yourself. And then I need you to sing a song to yourself. And if you're really crazy like me, I need you to read the same song again. And then sing the same song again. And something happens on the inside. Something happens on the inside. Come hell or high water, Jesus is on board. The Lord is going to make a way somehow. I don't know how I'm going to cook dinner. I don't even know what's for dinner. But the Lord will make a way. I just can't trust him when things are going well. I got to trust him even more when I'm in trouble. He says, I want you guys to be aware that your doubt will put a cap on your blessings. If you don't believe I can do it, what you asking me for? Don't just pray because some preacher told you to pray. I need you to believe you're talking to God when you pray. And tell the adversary to let you go. Somebody to say that out loud. Lord, give me the strength to tell the adversary to let me go. Let go of what? Let go of my lips so I can pray again. Let go of my heart so I can forgive again. Let go of my mind so I can stop looking where I ain't supposed to look no more. God, give me the strength to tell the devil, let me go. If the adversary can can clam up your mouth and clam up your mind and clog up your heart, God can't move in your life. It's not that he hates you because of what you've done, but you trust more what the devil said than what God has said. I gotta sit down. I gotta sit down. But I want to hear something real fast. When you get home, I want you to read the rest of that chapter, but I want you to read chapter 5, verse 1. That sometimes we look for where our storms came from. And if you grew up in a church like mine, the first time things started happening in your life, you started looking and seeing what I do wrong. All right. I don't have no witnesses in here that somebody taught us if something's going wrong, you must have did something wrong. Hear the word of the Lord, that even Jesus had all types of things coming against him. He had people talking about him. He had people lying on him. He had people not putting respect on his name. And Jesus was perfect. So who gave you that theology that God is paying you back for something you did? When you read chapter 5, verse 1, they got to the other side. Try not to preach this. When they got to the other side, the Bible talks about a demon-possessed man that met them on the shore. And on the shore, that demon-possessed man says, my name is Legion. What are you doing here, Jesus? Can I take you in the book? When the adversary knows you on your way to victory, he'll send a storm in the middle of your trip.
Right now.
Let me Bible study that. Y'all might not have heard it through the screen. The adversary, the 4,000 demons that were inside of Legion, were fully aware that Jesus was on his way. So why wouldn't the demons of Legion cause a storm to try to stop Jesus on his way to set somebody free? Your storm might just be associated with when you go through stuff, you don't talk to nobody about Jesus. So your storm might be just to shut your mouth.
All right.
Come on, man, God. Your storm might just to make you feel like God is not on your side.
All right.
That God is sleeping on your storm. That one impropriety you did yesterday around 4 o'clock, that's the reason that God has shut the floodgates on your blessings. Let me give you some insight. If God started being petty like us and paying us back for everything that we didn't do right, none of us would be inside this holy chapel. But God has blessed us because he's a good God. He don't bless us because we good. We are all falling short of the glory of God. We have earned nothing. Somehow, I just want you to hear this from me. Be encouraged in the middle of your storm. Be encouraged in the middle of your storm. And the best thing you can find in a storm is an umbrella. I'm going to tell you my story and I'm in my seat. There were 2 brothers praying on this porch. And it was raining cats and peripheral dogs. And one older brother said, I'll give you my Xbox if you can make it across the street without getting wet. That young boy says, man, I've been wanting an Xbox all my 8-year-old life. He went inside the house and said, God, I don't know how and I don't know when, but I need you to make a way somehow. The boy got all his energy and he started running. He says, if I zig and I zag, I can miss the rain. If I pause and I stall, I can miss the rain. But as soon as he ran through the door, his mama pulled up in the driveway. And when his mama got out the car, she popped open her umbrella and she put her umbrella over her head. And mama walked up the stairs. As soon as little Jimmy was running out the door, He ran out the door, grabbed the umbrella, and covered his head all the way across the street. He got across the street and he did a little dance. He said, "Thank you, Jesus! I'm so happy that you kept the rain away. But moreover, God, I'm not happy that you kept the rain away. I'm so happy I got my first Xbox." You don't know how God gonna cover you until you try. Some of us are sitting on the couch, talking ourselves out of the battle. I need you to put a plan together to start walking by faith and ask the Lord, by the time I get to the door, I don't know how, but I need you to make a way somehow. Y'all ain't happy today. I just tried to teach, but I got happy that we got to start trusting God in spite of what we see. We got to trust God in spite of how we feel. We got to trust God even when you're not having your best day. You still owe him praise. You still owe him thanksgiving. You still owe him your very best. Get back to being who you're supposed to be and tell God, I can handle this storm as long as I got you. That's it. That's enough. That's enough. Because if I say one more thing, all I'm going to do is think about how the Lord took one house, and I thought that was the worst day of my life as the tears came streaming down my face. I said, I'm a man and I can't provide for my family. That we on the street because we lost this house. But those tears can't compare to the tears that flowed down my face when he allowed me to see where I'm living now. He says, I can't give you success if you stay in your same situation. So some storms come to give you transportation. Some storms come to get things out of your life that shouldn't be in your life. Some storms come to get people out of your life. Some storms come to make you more financially responsible. Some storms come so you can buy some life insurance. Some storms come so you stop begging on Facebook. Some storms come so you can see that God is on your side. Some storms come just so you can stand still and see God work something out in your life. I don't never want to get tired of seeing God performing miracles in my life. I don't want to get to the place where I'm comfortable with God being God. Can somebody hear me in here? I want him to continue to blow my mind. Carest not that we perish. Can I fix it? Can I answer for Jesus? Carest not that we perish. Can I paraphrase for Jesus? Because you are perishing, that's why I'm here. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Whosoever believeth in him shall not what? Perish, but have everlasting life. I feel my help coming on. That how in the world am I going to let you die when God sent me so you can live? I died for you. I'll let him put nails in my hands for you. I'll let him pierce me in the side for you. I'll let them pull my beard out my face for you. I die for you. What you mean do I care that you perish? The reason you can talk to me is because God knew that you was dying. He died, y'all. But he ain't stayed there.
No.
He came back with all power in his hand. All power in his hands. So here's my plea. Somebody might be here because somebody said come to church. Somebody might be here because you're sick and tired of somebody saying come to church.
All right.
This is what I want you to understand. That day that all of us have to go through and see Jesus face to face. He's not going to ask you about how much church you attended. He's not going